Mourners trooped to Buhari's Daura's residence amid tight security as tributes pour in. Gunmen slaughter 27 farmers, raze homes in fresh attack. And on the foreign scene, Togo security forces cast early ballots ahead of municipal elections. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining us again. Now, former President Muhammadu Buhari was laid to rest on Tuesday evening in his hometown of Daura, Katsina State, marking the final chapter of a long and consequential public life. His remains arrived earlier at the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua International Airport aboard a Nigerian Air Force jet from London, accompanied by Vice President Kashim Shettima and other senior federal officials. President Bola Tinubu joined mourners at the airport shortly before 3 p.m., where a brief but solemn military ceremony was held in Buhari's honor. A convoy later conveyed the body to Daura, where the former president was buried at his private residence around 5:30 p.m. The burial attracted a crowd of dignitaries and ordinary citizens, including political allies and rivals, all paying their last respects. Many described Buhari as a disciplined and humble leader who left an indelible mark on Nigeria's political and developmental landscape. His final rites brought a reflective close to an era defined by both military command and democratic governance.
During his young water course, he worked very hard to demonstrate commendable
It was a day of tears, prayers and reflection as crowd and mourners trooped into the Daura residence of former President Muhammadu Buhari hours after his remains were entered at his private home on Tuesday. From early morning, residents of Daura, neighboring towns, and even distant parts of the country began arriving in large numbers, many carrying prayer mats, photographs, and placards honoring the late leader. Men, women, and children wept openly outside the residence gate, some offering special prayers, while others shared stories of how Buhari's leadership impacted their lives. Security around the residence was tight, with personnel from Army, DSS, police, and civil defense maintaining strict perimeter control. Only family members, close associates, and accredited guests were allowed into the main compound, but this did not deter the growing crowd outside. Some mourners described Buhari as a symbol of discipline and simplicity, while others recall how he remained connected to the grassroots despite his position as head of state. Shops were shuttered and movement slowed across the town as residents joined procession, from some chanting Quranic verses and others silently watching the convoy that brought the former president's body home. Still on a sad note, at least 27 farmers in the early hours of Monday killed, several houses burned following a deadly attack on Bindi Jabo in Tahoe's community of Riom local government area of Plateau State. The assailants, suspected to be armed herdsmen, stormed the area around 5:30 a.m., shooting sporadically and setting residential buildings ablaze. Multiple residents were also injured and have been evacuated to the Jos University Teaching Hospital, Jos Plateau Hospital, and other nearby health centers for treatment. The national president of the Birom Youth Molder Association, Daliop Solomon, confirmed the attack, stating that the victims' bodies have been deposited in various hospitals pending burial arrangements. Meanwhile, the Plateau State chairman of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeder Association of Nigeria, Makban, Ibrahim Babayo, denied any involvement by its members and called on security agencies to investigate the incident thoroughly, describing the accusation as baseless. Security agencies, including Operation Safe Haven and the State Police Command, have yet to issue any official statement as of press time. The police in Nasarawa State have launched a manhunt for the abductors of the State Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Yusuf Musa. The spokesperson for the command, Ramhan Nansel, said a patrol team from B Division in Lafia found Musa's Peugeot pickup van abandoned with its doors open around 3:05 a.m. on Tuesday, adding that officers also discovered the gates to his house residence left ajar. A search of the premises confirmed Musa was missing along with a GMC vehicle with registration number KUJ88PA. According to Nansel, the state's Commissioner of Police Shatima Mohammed has ordered a coordinated tactical response and activated surveillance across major routes in the state, while divisions in Akwanga, Andaha, Garako, and Kadarko have also been alerted. The police urged the public to remain calm and report any useful information to the nearest station as efforts intensify to rescue the victims and apprehend the abductors. Now, troops of the Nigerian Army's 6th Division have dismantled several illegal refining sites and destroyed 50 suspected oil thieves during operations across Niger Delta, especially in Rivers State. Between June 30th and July 13th, over 25,000 liters of stolen petroleum products were seized. In Rivers and Abia State, several illegal refining sites were destroyed, along with equipment including drum pots, receivers, and coolants. Troops also recovered thousands of liters of crude oil, argo, and kerosene. Similar operations in Delta, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom State led to more seizures, including both carrying a stolen product, drum of illegal refined fuel, and items suspected for pipeline sabotage. Several suspects were also arrested. The Army says it will continue to secure oil facilities and disrupt criminal activities across the region. And now, a renewed call has been made to prioritize women's inclusion in politics and governance in recognition of their vital role in national development. This appeal came during a premiere of a documentary titled Double Minority, held in Abuja. Trust TV's Kabir Lawan has more.
With Nigeria's population estimated at over 203 million, women account for nearly 49.5%, which represent about 110 million people. Yet, only a small fraction of this demographic is represented in decision-making roles across the country. Dr. Kole Shatima, a director at the MacArthur Foundation, emphasized that women have both capacity and the time to actively engage in politics. He noted that their contribution to national growth should not be underestimated.
We at the MacArthur Foundation are very committed to the work that Kadria is doing and to our commitment towards gender equality and equity in our country. I think that all of us Nigerians, I'm sure, were all embarrassed by the data and the picture.
The author of the documentary and veteran journalist, Kadaria Ahmed, said the documentary highlights the low level of women's participation in politics. She identified cultural, structural, and financial barriers as key challenges. She noted that despite policies like the 2006 National Gender Policy, which advocate for increased female leadership, implementation remains weak.
For me, I get very confused when people don't seem to understand why women need to be equally represented. If you see democracy as, something that is for the people, by the people, as they say, and 50% of your population is not reflected in government or in elective offices, then it means you are disenfranchising 50% of your population. It means your democracy is not representative. So the same way you have, women, people with disability, young people, old people in society, is the same way you're supposed to have those people represented in government and in elective offices.
When women representation in Nigerian politics, in the political space, is diminishing, then we cannot really be hopeful about positive development. So this is really sobering, and I hope that it can get to the people in power, it can get to the people in political decision-making space.
Other dignitaries present at the premiere echoed the need for stronger advocacy. They called on government and influential individuals to support and empower women in politics, ensuring that they have equal opportunities to contribute to governance and national development. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're still watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Digital illiteracy draining Nigeria's economy, experts warn. There's some more when we return. Just stay. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us. In case you missed it, here's a recap of our top stories again. We told you that Buhari buried in hometown of Daura, Katsina State, and mourners troop to Buhari's Daura residence amid tight security as tributes pour in. And now moving on to more stories. Digital illiteracy is costing Nigeria an estimated $11 billion annually in lost growth opportunities, according to experts in the country's tech space. As the United Nations marks World Youth Skills Day on July 15th, Nigerian technology experts are expressing deep concern over a slow pace of sectoral development, largely due to poor internet connectivity and inadequate ICT infrastructure. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail has more on this report.
To bridge the growing digital literacy gap and empower young people, the United Nations General Assembly is commemorating the 2025 World Youth Skills Day under the theme Youth Empowerment Through Artificial Intelligence and Digital Skills. Amid rising unemployment and a widening digital divide, young Nigerians like Joseph Ijakpa are turning to artificial intelligence to acquire skills for self-reliance.
I use AI to create videos, animation, purely animation. I use it to create animation to advertise what I do. Of course, it helped to scale my business, to reach out to audience. After creating those videos, you don't see my face, but you see some animation talking to you, telling you what I do, services that I render. And then I post it on my social media to gain view and also to gain other customers.
In this fast evolving world, digital skills are very important. Almost 90% of job vacancies require some sort of digital skills. And that is why some Nigerians are leveraging on the power of technology to also catch up.
Digital marketing, web design, and social media advertising are redefining how people work and connect. A number of young Nigerians are leveraging these tools to become self-employed, while others are using the internet to link job seekers with potential employers.
When it comes to the issue of the internet, the youths are the ones that are basically into this internet stuff, and majority of them are not employed. So through this our job, we try to reach out to them for them to know one of the ways or means for them to be engaged at the moment, at least for them not to enter into crime and all those things. So when we post most of our jobs, we'll try to bring them closer, try to educate them and tell them about the jobs they are going for. Sometimes most of our training also post it on the internet.
As a young Nigerian, and I feel social media has given us a voice as a people. It has given us the opportunity not just to air our opinion, but also to, shaping our life in diverse ways, such as this job opportunity. Through social media, you get to see job opportunities, and then through social media, you get to engage with even people far and near. In fact, you see opportunities outside Nigeria.
To address the skills gap, the federal government has announced plans to train public and private sector workers in artificial intelligence over the next 3 years. However, industry experts argue that without a solid technological infrastructure, such plans may fall short of their goals.
The frequent power failure and the unstable internet connection. I was doing something inside there. Within 10 minutes, the internet will just disconnect about 2 times. And sometimes it's very slow. Sometimes you may look at it, it's connected, but it will tell you no internet access. So when you have that issue, it limits what you can do. It slows you down. And sometimes it makes you to incur losses. Our country is supposed to encourage, and our youth also hold on, because some of them, they are eager to get the money. With a little knowledge, they want to begin to make money, maybe using it to commit some fraud and things like that. No, AI is supposed to help you to build yourself up and get your money in a genuine way.
A 2021 World Bank development report reveals that over 50% of Nigeria's population lacks digital skills. This alarming figure poses a significant challenge to the country's ambition of achieving 95% digital literacy by 2030. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now, investment in education of young people have been identified as the only way to put an end to insecurity and other social vices in the society. Educationists believe that the future of Nigeria lies in her youths, and any policy or program that is geared towards empowering the young people should be given adequate attention by the government at all levels. Speaking at an event in Abuja, Abdulsalam Abdul Karim Daura, who was honored in recognition of his commitment to youth empowerment, social transformation, poverty alleviation, and educational development, said world is in the age of A1 and young Nigerians should be supported to compete with their counterparts all over the world.
They are the future, and they will demonstrate that they are the future. Most importantly, in terms of agri, they acquire a lot, and in terms of AI, which is an artificial intelligence, I'm amazed to see their experience and what they acquired within the short period of this program.
From the level of training the young people on digital entrepreneurship, what do we expect from them? We want to reduce different strand of hopelessness among our young people. When there is no hope, what do you get into? Kidnapping, unemployment, and crime, which basically in itself is something that all of us are afraid of. So if we can find ways to engage our young people, no doubt.
And now, away from Nigeria, security and defense forces in Togo, including paramilitary units and members of the Operational Reserve, participated in early voting on Monday, July 14th, ahead of the country's high-stake municipal elections. The early vote, held in the capital Lome, was organized to enable officers to perform their civil duties while remaining on duty for Election Day and security during the general polls scheduled for July 17th. The process was reported to be peaceful and orderly, with polling officials noting high discipline among voters. Monday's special vote officially launched a tense election period, with political parties intensifying campaigns to sway voters. The ruling UNIR party has urged citizens to support continuity, while opposition leaders are calling for active participation to push for change, despite some boycotts called from civil society. tensions remain beneath the surface, with civil groups declaring July 14th and 15th as day of mourning and online activists planning protest on Elections Day. And now on sports. Nigerian striker Umar Abubakar has sealed a permanent transfer to Portuguese Premier League outfit Famalicão. Abubakar, who linked up with the Famalisans from academy side Footwork FC, put pen to paper on a 5-year contract. The youngster spent last season on loan at Belgian club Zhongjang, where he scored 21 goals in 27 matches. Zhongjang, however, failed to finalize a permanent deal for the player. However, the 19-year-old experienced his delight after signing his contract. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to join us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Do have a good evening.